1 in 88 people per day been diagnosed with cancer, 1 in 4 on asthma medications, 1 in 5 on antidepressants, autoimmune disease taking over. This is an unsustainable business model, people. Now, getting sick is one thing, but suffering is another. And I mean, I think we all resonated with Annie's incredible inspirational story about what happens to a family when somebody gets sick. And I'm sure there's no one person in this room that has not been impacted by that. If you yourself have not been sick, I'm sure you know somebody who has been. Now, Annie and I's common link was Joanna, who was diagnosed at 16 with leukemia. And I walked that journey with her for 12 years. And it was torture. Appointment to appointment. Build up of fear, breakdown of fear. Build up of fear, breakdown of fear. And I thought, this makes no sense. There has to be a better way to do this. I asked 2 questions for the last 35 years. Why would your immune system let you down? And particularly at 16. And how can you heal without being poisoned? There must be a better way to do this. So I read, I studied, and I watched, and I learned, and I thought it was nutrition. And nutrition's a part of it. I thought it was exercise, and exercise a part of it. Then I thought it was the mind. Even flew all the way to Arizona to learn the Sedona method twice. And realised, eventually, that we know what to do. We know how to get well, don't we? You may not be crystal clear, but we have the knowledge. We've got Google. But knowledge does not get you well. Reading 3 million self-help books and going to 3 trillion self-help courses will not get you well. It's what you do in between, it's what you do on a daily basis that will get you well. So 2 years and 2 weeks ago, I lost another friend to cancer. And she was 35 years old. She was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian when she was 32. Her mum had died 3 years previously. And she came to me. She already had 2 major operations, 2 bouts of chemo, 2 bouts of radiation. And she came to me for a nutrition consultation, same age as my daughter. And I just was like, oh. The cancer had recurred, obviously. And guess what they wanted to do? More surgery, more chemo, more radiation. Now, I'm not blaming anybody here because that's all that's on offer currently in our system. And they wanted to send her to the UK, and it was really ironic. I had 2 Maltese clients at the same time. Both offered this special chemo and service in the UK. One chose not to go. She came and she moved in with me. And the other girl went to the UK and she died in 10 days in the UK. Sabrina moved in with me, and in a very short space of time, it was a crazy thing to do, move a total stranger into your home that's got stage 4 cancer and was, turns out, on antipsychotic medications, antidepressants, and I mean, it just was not sane. But her mum had died, and there was nobody to help her apart from me. So within about 6 weeks, she was like a completely new person. But then I had to move back to the UK, and she moved back into Dad's home, and she went back to doing what she always did. And very sadly, 9 months later, she was gone. And I got a message, which I shared last year's Goddess gathering. I got a message from her cousin in Australia thanking me for giving her another way and the happiest few months of her life with me up in Mordina. So the message for Heal Scotland is not about not dying. I don't get to choose, because trust me, if I did, it would be a very different world. I don't get to choose who lives and dies, but my whole thing is we don't need to suffer like that. We have the knowledge. We know that juicing helps. We know that cutting out sugar helps. We know that drinking a lot of water helps. We know that sleeping at the right time helps. We know that fresh air helps. We know all of these things, don't we? But do we do them? And why do we not do the things that we know will get us from A to B? Why is that? Because we're programmed. We're programmed, and now we have so much fear. And now, because we've been living out of alignment with nature for so long, we're too tired. Aren't we? Who can be bothered trying to heal when life is already incredibly difficult? So on April the 1st, we started a community to prove to you and to everyone else in Scotland and in the world, because this is not about just Scottish people. I care about everyone. But we're starting in Scotland because I'm Scottish, and I don't know, I just feel this is the right place to start. People may think it's crazy. Who thinks I'm crazy? Crazy enough to make this work. So I thought, we actually need to run a programme and prove that these things work. So we did that. Some of the amazing people that joined me and put up with me for 12 weeks. We put up with each other for 12 weeks. We did a very, very simple programme. Every morning at 7 a.m. we breathed for half an hour. And then we did a meditation. We did a little bit of yoga, qigong, tai chi. And then we had some fresh juice. And then we went back to our rooms. And then at 10 o'clock we went out in the land, because that ticks hundreds of boxes by going on the farm. It's a biodynamic farm. Fresh air, hands into the soil, giving back to the people who created the space, and giving back to the universe. And then at 12 o'clock we had lunch, which was soup. It was quite cold when we started, so we had a lot of sort of nourishing, warm, healing, hydrated foods. It was a primarily vegan diet. Not because I believe everybody should be a vegan, I absolutely don't, and I know that people can fail in a vegan diet, so I'm not advocating that, but for cleansing and cleaning, it's absolutely essential to get tons and tons of vegetables through this body. So and then in the evening, in the afternoon, we would have a couple hours letting go or whatever. We did something in the afternoon along the lines of letting go. And then in the evening we'd have dinner, and that was usually the day because everybody was too tired to do anything else. And every weekend we had some phenomenal healers, coaches, teachers and friends of mine would come to share their skills and knowledge. A few of them are in this room, to help me, support me in this mission. So we proved the point. One of the guys at the funding said, "What diseases are you going to focus on?" And I said, well, here's the thing, all disease is the same root cause. Toxicity, stress and inflammation. And when we address, every single one of us in this room could do exact same things, and we would feel better in a week, maybe even before that. So the disease, when you think about it, what is arthritis? Achy joints. You're getting rusty. Yeah? What do you do if you get rusty? What do you do if your bike gets rusty? What do you do with the chain? Oil it. Yeah, and then what do you do? Move it. Ta-da! Arthritis healed. I'm talking about the chronic osteoarthritis, obviously. So we've given things that happen to the body as the body starts to degenerate, and you'll see that bodies are degenerating earlier and earlier now. As the body starts to degenerate because it's in lack, it's not getting enough of certain things and it's getting too much of other things. It's very, very simple. And when you redress, as Jennifer was talking about, that imbalance, guess what the body does? It goes back into balance. Don't ask me how we've made this so complicated, but boy have we. So after the community, these guys all came down to Arishik to see me, and we all did some breathing and some meditation. We all went in the sea, and it hit me. I looked at them and I was like, oh my God, it worked. Look at these women. And it was just that profound moment of understanding that these amazing women were completely different in every way. Their attitude, obviously around the community, the stress is going, all of that's going. But I really saw it. God, now I'm going to have to get this message out. So now we're looking to set up a place, a community, where we can teach this. We need to get numbers up and we need to get people engaged. And that is every single one of us. If you care about your own health, about the health of your family, your friends, your children, and for me, my grandchildren, we're all big and bad enough now to work out our own stuff. But these kids, we owe them a debt here. We've polluted the planet, we've polluted the air, we've polluted the food chain, we've polluted the water, we've polluted people's minds with all the garbage that we've got coming in via the TV and the radio, etc. So now we're like, actually, instead of hoping that some guy in a laboratory in a science lab that will win a Nobel Prize with a brilliant microscope is going to find out why you got sick or create a pill to make you better, does anybody still really believe that's the way ahead for prevention? Now, obviously, our NHS is incredible, and my mum's been in the system the last few weeks, and I am not berating them in any shape or form. That is so much incredible. Look what they did, put platinum in her brain. I mean, it's incredible. She wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. But what we know is a lot of the chronic degenerative diseases are our lifestyle. 100% our lifestyle. We know that, don't we? So what does that mean? We can change it. So we're not saying, look, sit in a cave, meditate and drink carrot juice. No, no, no. We're saying breathe, believe, release and get back to nature. And if you do that every single day or 5 days a week, do you think you'll feel different? And if you feel different, do you think you will act differently? And if everybody else around you is engaged and motivated and vital and inspired, will that impact on you? I'm going to switch this off. Is everybody warming up? Yeah. Yes? So can you see we are absolutely in this together? They say that the happiness of a country is dictated by the division in their wealth. Now, and I'll go on about this book again, Chasing the Scream, that I've just finished, because I tell you, every single person in Scotland has to read it. But it's quite simple. We're banging on about why are kids on their iPads all the time or on their screens? Does anybody have kids? And the kids want to be in the iPads, don't they? Why? Why do you think they want to be in their iPads? It's fun, isn't it? I mean, let's keep it simple. It's absolutely fun, it's interesting, it's exciting. So so instead of going, you don't need to be in your iPad, you're supposed to do this, you're that. Why don't we try and find something that's more fun? And this is literally what Chasing the Scream's about. Have you ever just been like bored? And you're like, so then you just switch on Netflix. I love Netflix when I'm living in Scotland in the winter. Because we're all the same. If it's not great here, what do? Open a bottle of wine, put on the TV, go on Amazon or whatever your thing is that you do, or go down the pub. We all used to go down the pub, but the pub culture's all but died here now. We found something to do. And this boredom threshold's great because we don't even let our kids get bored now. So it's only when you get to that place you'll start to go, oh, we could do this, we could do this. Now the research is absolutely overwhelming how creative people get when they're allowed. And the things that we can create when we get together. So, and it's the exact same with health. You know, for me, festivals are the way ahead. You know, we had just had an incredible festival in Malta, Bubble, which Gail was an events manager, and she was very proactive, and it was just the best festival I've ever been at. It was workshops from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock every single day, and music and sunshine, obviously, and beaches. I'm not going to lie. But the people that we met from all over the world, all wanting the same thing, the vibe was palpable. Everybody, Gail didn't enjoy it quite as much as me. But everybody that I spoke to was just buzzing about it, sharing these things, and again, a bit like Annie, I was saying to Annie about was, you know, we all have that inside of us. Every person that's here, you're pretty special to come here in the first place. You're giving yourself time and you want to learn new things, and that's how the brain gets excited and develops. So when you meet new people and get inspired and excited by each other, that is the best feeling in the world, isn't it? And it's so, so simple, but we're not doing it because we're on the overheads, everybody's got bills to pay and everybody's tired, blah, 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 blah. So how are we going to change it? So Heal Scotland mission, let me make it crystal clear for you. 2 things that we want to happen. 1, if you go to the doctor and they say, well, you can take this pill, you can get this operation, or you can get this injection, that you are also given all the things that you can do to help your cells. Meditation, simple. We're not talking rocket science here. We don't need a microscope. We don't need a PhD. All we need is simple, basic common sense that has got the science now. Science now says dancing is good for you. Science now says singing is good for you. It drives me insane. Science says it, so now we can come out and say, well, we can actually run a community because science says these things work. Science says put your bare feet in the ground works. Science says, but, it's crazy. But that's the way it is. So, but science does say it now. So you can all rest assured all these things work. So when you go to the doctor, it's here's what we can do for you, and here's what you can do for yourself. I think that's quite fair and achievable. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Number 2 is much, much more serious and important, I believe, because I think telling people that they're going to die, that they're terminal, incurable, it's aggressive, it's inoperable, I think that's a crime against humanity. If it was true, it's bad enough. But often it's not true, and it's based on an outdated model of physics. And because the world is run by the pharmaceutical companies, all the research that's paid for comes from them. And they want, I don't think they're all bad. They can't be, as I would have thought the law of averages would have said. But it's a business. They've got shareholders, they're the richest companies in the world, so don't be thinking they're worrying about your asthma or your whatever it is that they're giving you medication for. Now, medications can be super helpful in the short term, there's absolutely no doubt about that, and you may very well need them. Actually brings me to a very important point. Philly Alexander. Does anybody remember Philly from the first Goddess gathering? I'll just briefly give you an update on Philly, because Philly healed herself from breast cancer 6 years ago. She was diagnosed and she went on a self-healing program and healed herself within a year. 5 years less 1 day to the date, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that was just a year before I went away travelling. And she thought, oh well, I'll just heal myself again, get back on the protocols. And she got more sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker until I thought, last time I saw her, I thought, I don't know if she can do this. She eventually decided to take the chemo, and she's now doing incredibly well. So she's put on 2 stone. So there's a big story there as well. There is no one size fits all here, and you have to listen into your intuition. She was ready to die, she said, and saying, I spoke to her, I saw her 2 days ago, and she said, and then it was her daughter-in-law phoned her therapist, and the therapist went up to her house and said, look, are you really ready to say no to this one chance that you have? And she decided, no, she wasn't ready to go, so she made the choice. So she's here because of the allopathic treatment. So sometimes you have to go there, and that's fine. And then you get back on all your protocols and you detoxify the body. The body's incredible. The body's capable. I'm still alive. That's how incredible the body is. Because I've put this bad boy through some stuff, let me tell you. So it's actually quite hard, to really, really put the body to that place. So when you actually start to realise, okay, no matter what happens here, exactly like Annie, I can just pick myself up, the meteor hit, and then you move on. So again, let's go back to the Heal Scotland movement. That's the 2 things that we want to lobby for change. Whether we'll be lobbying for change or whether we'll just be creating another way to do it, maybe more likely to be that. And then it's got to be about education, because there are people who do not know that all these things actually work. Because a lot of the times, the things that we're talking about, meditation, releasing, it doesn't happen in 5 days. Don't get me wrong, people are now getting very, very real-time healings. But in general, you have to do it for a lot longer. And of course, if you're scared, if you've been told you're terminal, if you've been given a time frame, which some people have been told a time frame, the sheer panic and terror of that can stop you from doing any of your protocols, because fear will just actually put you into the freeze response. So that's why we need a place to educate people. So if that diagnosis were ever to land at your door, you understand what it is the body's doing. Autoimmune, 100% your gut. So just know that you have to heal your gut. And that can be a bit of a nuisance, and you may have to cut out stuff that you like for a few months. So what? Really? Other times it's that your routes of elimination are blocked. Your liver, your gallbladder and your kidneys. Toxicity, quite simply, can't get out. You ever had your drains blocked in your house? What happens? You get flooded. So if your drains are blocked, you need to unblock your drains. Heal your gut, unblock your drains, and do some work on the emotional and spiritual side, which is your meditation and your letting go, your more talk therapies, breathing. Breathing's brilliant because you can forget about the story and you can just focus on the breath. Singing as well, and Qigong. I mean, all powerful, powerful. It's hard to believe for most Western minds that doing something like that every day can have a huge impact on your health. Would you agree? But we know it works. Why do we know?
Science.
But the science. Science tells us. And there's no agenda for them to say that Qigong works or that breathing works. When they took Wim Hof into the university in Birmingham, they thought he was a freak of nature because he can stay packed in ice for 2 hours, something which was thought to have been impossible. He said, I can teach everyone to do this. And they injected 100 people with this bacteria, and Wim Hof took 10 of them and taught them how to breathe. And they breathed the bacteria away, and the other 90 got sick. 100% success rate. When you alkalise the body self-heals. It's that simple. Disease cannot survive in an alkali environment. We've known that for a long time, thanks to like the pH miracle. So there's lots and lots of books out there, but what happened is, if you get a scary diagnosis and you've never been, because you want to learn this stuff before you get sick, even before you start to degenerate, i.e. getting old. Getting old's bullshit as well, by the way. So we saw that clearly in the community, how people started to get younger. Because if you believe that you're on a slippery slope, then you are. Degeneration will happen if you stop moving, stop doing different things, stop singing, stop laughing. If you stop doing all these things, what do you think is going to happen? The cells are just like that. They're just actually signal for cell death. That's what they do. So it's up to you. So basically what we want to do now, we had an AGM yesterday. Obviously it all sadly comes down to money. We need a place where we can educate and inspire and support people. Because I'm telling you right now, to rewire your brain requires self-discipline. Keeping on. It ain't easy, and I'm not going to kid on that it is. Sometimes just putting your arm out and getting chemotherapy is by far the easiest option, because you're going to get supported, you're going to be held, and that's the harsh reality, right? So whereas you choose, right now the way the system is, you choose to try and self-heal, you're pretty much on your own, unless you've got somebody else with you to support you, make your juices. And we know that it's Julie here. Julie's been on a phenomenally interesting healing journey as well, and she's got a partner who makes all her juices and helps her. And I would like you to actually, Julie, when she came to the community, I could not believe the difference in her when she walked in the other day. I was like, what? Just incredible amount of, a bit like Anne's journey, very similar. You know, you were, was it a year ago just now?
I'm still optimistic last year, actually.
And you had to come back from like being a baby too, didn't you?
Pardon?
You had to come back from like being a...
Yeah, I was a baby and I was supposed to 5 months. So, and the midst of that, in Scotland, I got there week 4 because I was too ill at the start.
Yeah, and she was with 2 sticks, and so when she walked in, I was like, oh my God, her whole face and everything, it's incredible to see the regeneration capacity when you understand and you know. So you really do. I mean, Joe Dispenza wrote You Are the Placebo. Has anybody read that book? Yeah, it's like off the scale, you have to read it, and it's along the same veins as Biology of Belief, Bruce Lipton. Has anybody read that? Basically what happens... So I'm just going to explain how the biology of belief is so important. So I believe that I can heal myself. Can everybody hear? I think they can. I think they can. Yeah? Thanks. I believe that I can heal myself, right? So I'm like, I can do this. Like, you said that to me last year. You said, a voice was inside you said, I'm going to do this. So I believe that. So what happens when that thought, electrical in nature, comes in, hits my heart gives out this magnetic resonance of power. This is my seat of power, of hope. That magnetic resonance unfurls the DNA, and the DNA attracts the particles. That's how it works. That's an actual thing. And if you want to know any more about it, you can watch Greg Braden's work. We are drawing that in. We're drawing in the wave. And we can affect the wave, and the wave basically is all that space out there, and we do it with our thoughts. The thoughts can be weak if they don't have the elevated emotion and the belief right there. So if you've been told by somebody you're going to die, and a wee hairdresser comes in and says, that's a lot of shite. do this. And they're like, oh. So they start to feel better, they have an hour with me, 6 weeks later, back into the system, same thing happens again. So we do this, terror, release the terror, terror, release the terror. And it's really, really, really challenging to unhook all that fear from that diagnosis and that prognosis. And simple phrases that people have really, really carelessly said to people that are imprinted in the mind. I bet like school teachers did. You'll never come to anything, or you're tone deaf, or these simple things that we say that we just take on and we never ever really let it go. So that has to be addressed. Don't terrify people for a start. We have to stop doing that. But the other thing is you need to take responsibility and do not let people terrify you. So that's it. It's got to be the two-way thing. We can't keep blaming and complaining. We have to stand up, and most of my clients now are affecting the system because they're asking questions. You have to ask questions, and you don't just like roll over and play dead and say, okay, that's, you give me one opinion and I just follow your lead. So we need to understand that it is complex, that there are ways to heal. I met Dr. Brian Clements from the Hippocrates Institute, and he said there is no disease that has a name that he has not seen healed, including motor neurons, which I think is the one that probably terrifies people, certainly me the most. So we know that there's a potential for healing for every disease, because the name of the disease is just the name for a bunch of symptoms of what the body's doing. So, but the name now can carry a very heavy weight, as the number can. And if you have a stage 4 cancer, according to Andreas Moritz, the number is completely irrelevant. It has no bearing on your potential to survive, but it can absolutely affect this. And once this is affected, how do you find the courage and the strength to go through with the protocols, to switch the juicer on, to get the things that you need if you don't have somebody else to help you? So we need to have a place where people can come and just go through these simple, proven strategies and protocols. And even if they're not going to live forever, are you going to feel better? More in control? So we need this, we absolutely need it. And again, I don't see any reason why we can't have it. Do you? There's no reason why we can't have it. And then we can start supporting people, and we can create support groups in every community in Scotland. And then we spread this knowledge, and Kirsten said a brilliant thing to me yesterday. I was so inspired. Can you remember it?
Yeah, just setting up an ambassador program to try and spread the word digitally, because there's so much. Well, just looking at everybody that's in this room, there's probably, I'm going to guess, at least 10 probably entrepreneurs who use social media daily. And if every single person is prepared to badge themselves as a Heal Scotland ambassador, then the word will spread and
go viral. Because there's experts in this room again. And keep going on. Knowledge doesn't heal you. I don't care how many PhDs you've got. It's the action, the behaviour that changes everything. And then also the feeling that you're not alone, because if you go into the doctor and say, I'm going to juice, and they're like, that will never work, you're going to die, and this happens. How alone do you think you feel? nobody on your side. And again, some people can pull back and say, watch this space, it just makes me more determined. But the actual harsh reality is that 95% of people can't do that, or won't, or just don't have. A lot of my clients are women with young children. Now, you imagine, you've got 2 young kids, you've got a relationship, you've got a job, and you get diagnosed with, even if it's not terminal, just with cancer, it is devastating. And then you phone me, and I say, well, all you have to do is, and I realised quite quickly, this is really upsetting me, because I'm not helping these people. I can't help them in 1 hour a week. It's not enough. So we have to have a place where people, and not if you want to do this. This is the reality. We're only looking for the niche people that are really waking up saying, well, I'm ready. I'll come out my life for 3 to 6 months if that's what it takes. I'll take my children with me. And we will do this together. Because we have to learn it as a family. Because there's nothing worse if you're having to do an elimination diet for 2 or 3 months and everybody's sitting around eating pizza and rolls and sausage and rolls and bacon. That makes it harder. So everybody in the family really has to be, can everybody hear me okay? Everybody in the family has to be educated on the importance of this and the simplicity of it. Imagine, sit with your eyes closed and see yourself well. Exactly again, Annie, that's exactly what we would recommend that you do. See it and feel it. That's you putting the electrical current into the wave. And then when you feel it, the magnetic field pulls it back towards you. And sometimes if you're really good at this, because people say to Joe Dispenza, oh, it doesn't work, and he's like, no, you don't work. You're rubbish at it because you don't practice. It's not a thing, it's like saying, oh, I've been doing this bicep curl for 3 years, it just doesn't work. Really? Have you? Have you? It's a thing, it works, it's a muscle. We know how to program the brain, so you can't come up with any stories. Oh, it doesn't work. No, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you doing the work? And like we're saying, Hillary's going to be speaking at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. It must be that bad energy, is it? About the power of protocols. We have a protocol list on the website that you can download because you need to be honest with yourself. And even if it's simply you've got a bit of anxiety, you maybe got a bit of reflux and you think, no, the body's definitely not 100%, I'm a bit foggy, whatever. Write down every single thing you eat and drink every day. How long were you outside? How often did you move? How much exercise did you have? Write it all down and then have a look and go, you don't need me, trust me. Be honest, because we talk the biggest amount of crap to ourselves. Oh yeah. To come to your aerobics, and I'm like, twice, you came, 25 years. But that's what we do. We tell a wee story that we like, and then we kid on. But we can't lie to the cells. If the vegetables are not going in every single day, if the sunlight's not hitting the eyes or the daylight, just the light hitting the skin, do you know that even if your eyes are closed, your skin's picking up the light, signalling to the brain what hormones it needs? I mean, this is so intelligent. It's absolutely incredibly exciting. Imagine you're living in this incredibly exciting spaceship and nobody's told you. I mean, it's mad, isn't it? They've sold you this boring narrative that you're just this kind of robotic thing that came here to work and then retire and hopefully get a few years at the end of your life to enjoy yourself. I mean, it's just like, it's mad. We've been sold the wrong narrative. We're absolutely phenomenal spiritual beings, and we're here at this time to help the wakening up of the planet. And you, every single person in this room, is playing a part in that. And these protocols that we use, meditation, the letting go, the theta, the work that the girls were doing last night, the kundalini, they all serve to lighten the body so that we can hear and we can feel and we can listen. So when the opportunities come to us, we know where to go. Because like Annie said, we're not controlling this. You maybe think you are, you maybe wish you were, but you're not. None of us are. And think how much energy you will save when you just realise you just have to listen. and go where you're told. Because your higher self is there guiding, but you're probably going, oh, far too tired to go there. Oh, I'm not doing that, because the program's running the show. The past is running your show. And as I said before, how embarrassing to think that the past is running our lives, the programs. We have this phenomenal gift of self-will. We can choose any moment to think of something different, to think of something far more exciting for Scotland. Can you imagine 10 years from now, it's on the news, BBC won't exist anymore. It'll be another amazing channel that Ailsa made up. A social enterprise. Scotland's global health citizen of the world. They've just shown you can turn the trajectory around when you try. Pharmaceutical sales have slumped. People are living in communities, beautiful forest communities, and creating. They don't have to go to work if they don't want to. There is no need for the monetary society anymore. And people are living their passion and their purpose. And there's no need for hospitals apart from emergency things. Imagine, we are living that now. We've done it. We've changed the trajectory. We are now one of the healthiest nations in the world. We have got the most incredible nature in the world. My friend Gail arrived yesterday from from Malta, and Joyce picked her up at the airport, and she was just absolutely staggered by the beauty driving here. And you forget how incredible it is out there. We have everything we need right there. The cold water, how high did we get this morning? Kundalini. And then in there, we were absolutely buzzing. It's free. It doesn't matter what your postcode is, what your education level is. It doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank. You can heal. This levels every single person in Scotland, whether they're homeless, whether they've been in addiction, whether they live in one of the poorer places in Glasgow with the poorer health pictures. Everybody can do this. Do you not think that's exciting? Super exciting. So, if you would like to be an ambassador, and if you'd like to help in any way, because clearly I can't do all of this myself, we had the AGM yesterday, so we're looking for people to go on the board. We're looking for a place, whether it's Gabby came up and said that she's got a house in Isla that sleeps 10 people that we can use, so we can start running some things there off season. But it'd be great, obviously, eventually, I think, for the amount of people who are unwell and who need educated to have an actual bricks and mortar place. We're also thinking about TPs and having a travelling healing community that we could take, up north and maybe to islands, etc. So there's all these different potentials, but that's just my wee brain that's thinking of this. So if you've got ideas on how we can spread the word, because we need it changes here. When people say, how are you going to do this? It's far too difficult, you'll never manage it. Yes, we will. Because we will do it, not matter to matter. We'll do it in the field. We'll all see it. We'll visualise it. We'll feel it. That's how we create. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Right, let's just do it right now. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and let's do the 4, 7, 8 breath. So we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and then we're going to breathe out for 8 with our tongue behind our teeth. So if you can, breathe in for 4 through your nose, hold for 7, and then breathe out with your tongue behind your teeth through your mouth. Okay, so in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, and hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. Okay, and just return to some normal freestyle breathing. take your attention down into your heart. And as we think of everyone in Scotland who's sick or suffering right now, and we feel the compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters, and we feel the feeling in our hearts that we can share this message, this light, this information and inspiration, and help to bring them into the light and the higher vibrations, if they are ready. That we can inspire and spark the divine inside each one, inside each one of us. And share your awareness, spread your awareness out into the room and out over Scotland and all its majestic forests, lochs, rivers, mountains, and the islands, and every soul that resides here. Connect in to each and every one, and to all the birds and the animals on the land and in the waters around us and within us. And feel the unconditional love for the beauty, the spectacular scenery, and the untouched nature we have here. And see the headline: Scotland's health trajectory, now one of the best in the world. The seemingly impossible has become a reality as people move from misery and suffering and dis-ease and fear into higher levels of courage, acceptance, peace, and unconditional love. This natural healing oasis that Scotland is has helped people, the land, the animals, the birds, and the people back into balance, back into harmony, back into vitality. Feel the energy. Spread the message from your heart. It's already happened. The potential in the field. No more homelessness. No major addiction problems. No suffering. No waiting in hospital queues. People have taken back their power, tapped into their divinity, and healed themselves, supported by their local communities and their friends all over the world. See the colours of Scotland. All the incredible colours of the trees and the nature. See the vibration and the clarity as the veil lifts and suffering dissolves. Heal Scotland has happened. And as we welcome all the sights, sounds and sensations, and we just release this vision out for creation. And we welcome all wanting control, security, approval, separation and oneness. And just let it go. And we welcome any impatience or doubt or trying to figure it out. We welcome all of that and just let it go. And we come into the heart again and just drop into trust and surrender to the process. Thank you.